to tell us a little bit more about it and to give us a perspective on what's happening from Canada is senior journalist Daniel Bordman, who joins us now. Mr. Bordman, thank you so much for speaking to us. First question, how have the allegations, the credible allegations which Justin Trudeau talks about, been perceived in Canada? We feel in India that there ought to be pressure mounting on him to supply some kind of specific evidence, which he has thus far failed to do. What is the view in Canada?
Yeah, I mean, the only sort of quantitative analysis that we can give right now says not good for Justin Trudeau. There was just a poll coming out last night on polling for the different parties. The Conservatives are at 42%. The Liberals are at 22%. I've never seen the Liberals 20 points underwater before. That's insane in a country that's favorite party historically is the Liberal Party. The Conservatives are beating the Liberals and the NDP, the second and third party, combined right now in a recent poll. Now, this might be an outlier poll, but I mean, this is a 20-point poll. And you know, we've been seeing them around 10 recently is where it is. So there was just a 10-point push on Liberal Conservative split on this recent polling data, and this is generally around the recent. This is, I think, from the 19th to the 21st is when the data was gathered here. So that's sort of the beginning of the scandal, which means the initial gut reaction of Canada to this scandal was deeply unfavorable to Justin Trudeau. So he was taking a beating in popularity domestically prior to this, and this is probably been the biggest swing I've seen in recent Trudeau memory of just something that has really tanked his approval ratings. I've said this for a while. Canadians love to be perceived as America's reasonable younger brother where nothing goes wrong. They're the crazy ones. We're the sane ones. Everyone loves us in the world. People put Canadian flags on their backpacks if they're from America to travel India because we're the nicer ones. We love this little thing we tell ourselves. But when Canadian prime ministers go internationally and make a fool of themselves and make a fool of our country and ruin this reputation and this image that people want to have of our country as the peaceful, well-loved, everyone likes Canada, who needs a mediator, bring in the Canadians, he is deeply shaken that perception among a billion people, probably more. It's not good for him. Canadians do not like this. And outside of his hardcore, cult of personality following and, the hardcore socialist left, which is, in Jagmeetville or the Khalistani supporters and all the fringe radicals, they're on the anti-India team. But the majority of Canada, the reasonable part of Canada, those who have no ties to anything ridiculous, they hate this. They hate this. This is embarrassing. They hate being embarrassed. And the prime minister has made a fool of the entire country by, we accused a major ally, of a clandestine murder. And instead of, and then we didn't provide any evidence. We just said, trust us, everyone. We have the evidence. And then last night, it's gone from just trust me to I Googled it because it's an open source intelligence report. That's what we're basing this on. So I can't see this getting any better because I can't see India getting any happier with us because the actions of Justin Trudeau get more and more and more insane, selfish. It's not going to go well. And, there's no mechanism to remove him as the people prior to 2025 for just vast incompetence. But there is maybe, if it gets so deeply unpopular, you could see potentially an uprising within the backbenches of the Liberals and the NDP to sort of break this potential coalition and burn it down now. Let's say get to a new election and just start over. There might be some backbenchers who try a more long-term strategy, but again, I'm hypothesizing on a long shot because my analysis of Trudeau's personality is he wants to get to 2025, and Jagmeet wants to get 2025 too because that's when he gets his pension. So,
right.
It has not been perceived right, well in our country, to say the least.
Right. And on that note, Daniel, I just want to ask you is that Canada's most important allies, which are called the Five Eyes, especially the US, has not backed Trudeau's allegation. What does this mean diplomatically for Canada? Because US is also not backing the kind of allegations that Trudeau has been making. Now, these allegations have really made the entire world turn their heads.
Yeah, I mean, this is insane behavior. Every part of this I'm just so flabbergasted how there's not an adult in the room. Of course, the Americans aren't going to back an allegation like this. This is how geopolitics works, right? You have to kind of back your allies. So we started a fight with a major ally with significant diplomatic and economic power. So when we make an accusation against India that they murdered a terrorist on our soil, our allies have to back us. That's part of it. They have to believe us. This is how alliances work. The problem is when you start a fight with your ally who's allied with the same allies as you have, and they say we unequivocally deny what happened, their allies have to believe them. So now we're in a situation geopolitically where the US has to believe both Canada and India. And Justin Trudeau's position, again, went from, I got this top secret evidence that I can't release. We've done an investigation. It's not yet concluded. So we haven't even concluded an investigation, but we have a possible link, a potential link to the Indian government. To who? We don't know. We don't even know a suspect. So we don't know who the suspect is. We don't know who killed him. That's a mystery. No one knows that. But we do know that the person we don't know, have no idea who he is, might be connected to the Indian government somehow.
Absolutely.
How? We Googled it. What diplomat who isn't related to Justin Trudeau would go along with this nonsense? What other country would want to get involved
Daniel,
in this
I must interrupt you here. We're out of time, but I believe you have made a compelling case as to how convoluted Justin Trudeau's allegations are and the situation at the moment. I thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.